Hey everyone, today we are going to be getting ready with me and we are going to talk about the wedding. So I wanted to start with the big words. I wanted to say if you love this or if you want this but you can't have this, or if $90 like for me is a big splurge to use every day. This is actually L'Oreal True Match. It's a perfect coverage for everyday foundation and you must have this. On another note, planning a wedding can be super overwhelming and this is in which process I am with my fiance right now. So today I wanted to get ready with you for my basically usual day off in the end of September, so the weather is all and to talk with you about my 12-month checklist to get ready for the wedding. So if you're one of those people like I am who's planning a wedding, if you're one of those people who, like I am, love makeup, this video is also going to be interesting for you. So as I said, talking about the makeup, this is for sure my one top favorite. I love this, but $93 or whatever, $94, $95 for everyday foundation, that's a lot. This, beautiful. And also last 2 days I started mixing it with the e.l.f. Hue Drops is Glow Recipe Thirst Burst Drops, so you like dilute it somewhat so it's not that thick and it's great. One pump is enough for your face. So today I'm breaking down my step-by-step 12-month preparation checklist for the wedding. Whether you are engaged or you are starting your planning, this video is going to be sort of a roadmap. And if you hear these things, I have construction next door. I'm really sorry, but I feel like my phone is not going to catch those noises. You know, I've been engaged since December 2024 and we actually started planning our wedding in April, end of March, April. So in April we booked our first thing, which was reception hall and church. And you know, when we were booking it, we actually had times. We wanted a specific time in the summer next year because of my family and friends coming from abroad, so we had specific timeline that we could choose, and having 14-15 months in advance actually gave us more opportunities. But if you have 12 months or less, you maybe should be a little bit more flexible, but most of the time you still have a variety of choices if you have 12 months before. First things first, you should set your wedding date and your budget. If you have a shorter period of time, maybe you won't choose the exact date, but let's say you know you want a Saturday, and let's say you want a Saturday in July. So then on the next step, you're gonna be looking at the halls, at the churches, or wherever you're gonna be doing your wedding. You're gonna see if the date you choose aligns with their availabilities. And of course, if you have a budget, you want to set a budget first. And honestly, I feel like budget comes first, even though everybody wants to book their venue first. Budget is something that sets the standard for the venue, because now, at least in Montreal, in Canada, a lot of the venues, I think it's a well-known fact, they charge you separately for the venue, and then let's say you're doing catering, and a lot of the venues, they have a minimal budget, you know, no matter how many guests you want to do, but you at least have to pay X number of money, which sometimes is a huge number, and if you hear them saying this, you're just not gonna go with them. When you decide how much you're comfortable with spending overall, after that you can start breaking down how much you're comfortable spending on the venue. Maybe you're gonna have a reception hall. It means that you are basically paying for the meals, because if you're doing venue and then you're doing catering, it's different. If you're doing a reception hall, you are paying for like a number of people, right? And you're paying for the meals. Let's say the average right now in Montreal area, I feel like it's $150 to $100 per person, but also depends on what adds on you want to get. Let's say you want to get an open bar, you want to get a midnight snack. There are a lot of ads-on that your reception hall can give you. Next, you want to book your venue and your main vendors. Let's say if you're doing reception hall, it helps you a little bit, so you don't have to, let's say, book your catering. But if you're doing the venue separately, then that is so annoying. If you're doing a venue, of course, you'll have to think of catering, you'll have to think of music, flowers separately. Reception hall, usually, you know, they would give you the people they work with, so you already have a certain list of people you could contact and ask. And once you have the venue, you can lock in the caterer, you can lock in the photographer, the music, but of course you should start with the venue and the church if you're doing the religious part too. Some people say start your guest draft after you do the venue, but I feel like you should have a certain amount of people, like you're gonna have 150, you're gonna have 200 people, because when you go to the venue they will tell you we have this hall for 250 people. So if you only come up with 120, you probably gonna have an empty hall, or the hall will still ask you to pay for 250 people, but you can come even with 100 people. But imagine the amount of money they would ask. I feel like you should have a approximate number of people before you book the venue. How you can do it? You with your partner, you can have, let's say, a Google Doc where you both add in the people, and depending on if you want a big or a small wedding, you just keep adding the people, because you don't have them all in your mind at once. So let's say you have a week where you both thinking about people you want to do it. Maybe you can even have, if you're saying with doing a Google Doc, maybe you have an Excel sheet. And don't worry about it being perfect yet, it's just your wedding draft. So if, let's say, you need more people, you can just later on add more people. Next, I will start thinking about your wedding style, and most of the time it's on the bride side. I don't know if grooms care that much, but I would recommend using a Pinterest board, or maybe you do some inspiration on your Canva. And I would recommend you to share this with your wedding planner if you have one, with your photographer, because they wanna know also what kind of things you expect from them. When I mean Pinterest board, where you can put your colors, let's say the flowers, your decor ideas, everything you want to have, the color palette that you want to have, you can do it there. Next, at this stage, you start thinking about sending save the date, you're thinking about wedding invitations, you're thinking about engagement photos. We ourselves, we did our engagement photos in the end of August, and we have a great photographer, the same photographer we're gonna have at the wedding, and she got our pictures ready pretty quickly. So we already had a template for our save the date, and most likely we're gonna have our save the date and the wedding invitation and everything in the same color scheme. That's why you should think about that in advance. You could start sending save dates to the people. Also, engagement photos can be the announcement if you haven't announced it yet. In our case, we announced it in December when it happened, and engagement pictures happened at the end of August. So I just posted them on my social media as a part of our journey. Also, I think it's a good thing, especially if you're doing a destination wedding, to have a website, or if you have a lot of people coming from abroad. I personally just gathered all the people who are coming from abroad in one chat, where I sent them all the necessary information that I think would be nice, and if they have any questions they can ask me there, just for them to, organize their travelings and prepare all the information that's needed. But if you have a destination wedding, it's nice to have a website. Next, it's time to start dress shopping, and this is the stage I am in right now. I'm looking online right now to different dress places that we have around the area, so I know what they offer, and then I can do a consultation there. So what I do, I actually have some dresses, and I'm sure a lot of girls do have some dresses they like prepared on my Pinterest board, so I know exactly what I want, or like a few styles that I like. So I'm gonna come to the wedding store and I'm gonna tell them I like this or that. And also think of your bridesmaids dresses. That's why we prepared with the Pinterest board with the colors, so you can actually choose your bridesmaid dresses from those colors. And I myself am not in a rush because I still have 11 months before the wedding, so I'm feeling not as stressed. But they do say do your wedding shopping maybe 9 to 10 months before, just to make sure that you get your dress on time. So next, I assume 5-6 months you can start thinking about booking your other vendors, such as florists, entertainment, if let's say you have something in your welcome area, hair, makeup, so anything extra that doesn't take a long time. You don't need to book 12 months in advance. Think about it right now. At this exact same time, maybe some other different stationery that you want to add in your ambience, you probably should start thinking 5-6 months before the wedding. Also think of transportation and accommodation if you have any out-of-town guests. So some quick tips I've learned. First, you can run a Google Doc with your partner so you can accumulate all of your ideas together. Second, don't overbook your weekends. Leave some breathing room for yourself, because then you can just get burned out and you don't really want to have this wedding anymore. And the third one, take advantage of the vendors' packaging. They often offer great deals that will save you time and money. And the last one is the most important, relax, because things can change, so you need to be flexible and just let things go. And that's it. That's my 12-month wedding planning list. If you follow these simple steps, you will feel more organized and more in control, and hopefully you enjoy this beautiful time when you're engaged, because this is just a nice time when you celebrate your love, but you're also preparing for a bigger day. If this video helped you, please give it a like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments on which stage of preparation you are. You just got engaged. My congratulations to you. Have a great week and see you in the next one. Bye.